Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Karkic from your National Morning Show.
And I'm Rachel Schutzen from Toronto's Morning Show. We really are counting down the hours now until we get into that long weekend.
Yeah, it's Friday, by the way, in case you didn't notice. As we look at this radar, pretty quiet, Rachel, all the way over towards the Maritime provinces where we are seeing light rain at this hour for Fredericton over towards PEI. It's fairly light, but pretty after.
Could be seeing some thunderstorms into places like Fredericton. 22 degrees is your daytime high. So with some of that extra heat, this could spark off a few storms.
That's right. But we do have some good news for the long weekend. By and large, it's going to be fairly quiet and dry, so good for barbecuing weather. I'm sure a lot of people are ready to bring this out because last weekend in Southern Ontario, this looks good.
Yeah,
we had just not good barbecuing weather.
Exactly. Miserable conditions last weekend. Maybe looked a little more like this. This is some scenes out of Dallas, Texas, where rain has been a huge story for them. Way too much rain. We've been talking about some flooding, and we're also talking about a big story stateside as well. This trough that could spark up some tornadoes, and our hunters are headed to the scene.
That's right. Jacqueline and Mark and George have driven through towards Tornado Alley. We'll get an update on them, but let's check in with Michelle Nelson, who is somewhere where a lot of people are going to be heading this weekend. Joining us in Muskoka. How's it going, Michelle?
You know what? I cannot complain. It is beautiful out here. We're just beside Lake Rosso. The water's quite calm. You notice I have my life jacket on. I'm about to head out on the lake. We're at the JW Marriott, and I'm joined now by Jeff Hill from Store Management. And Jeff, you have a lot of activities even as we head towards the long weekend. One of those includes sea-doing.
Absolutely. Sea-doing is probably the most popular here at the JW, but we offer all kinds of motorized, from cruises to wakeboard and water ski instruction, and of course non-motorized as well, from stand-up paddleboarding, single kayaks, double kayaks, canoeing, the whole gamut.
Lots of fun. I'm going to give you this, and I'm just going to jump on here, guys, but I'll throw it back inside. I'm just going to head off on the lake.
Enjoy.
I think she needs to look where she's going.
I don't think Michelle's coming home. She's not coming back. Yesterday she tweeted, she's at the JW Marriott again, and she said, I don't want to come home.
It's beautiful.
It's really nice there.
So nice.
Yeah, I've been there too. It's spectacular.
Awesome.
So on Tuesday, if you've planned your vacation to add on another day, it's looking pretty good in parts of the east, with the exception of the Maritime provinces towards Newfoundland. We got a little bit of moisture there and some cooler temperatures.
Yeah, but as we look at Wednesday too, still very nice for Toronto at 23, Windsor at 26. Even into Thursday, the 20s are still with us in through Ontario. Wednesday and Thursday, slight risk of potentially seeing some thunderstorms.
That's right, but it's going to be feeling like summer. Even on Tuesday, places like Ottawa could get up to 30 degrees. We want to see what you're doing this long weekend. Tweet us your photos and we'll get them on the morning show into next week, and also answer this question on Twitter as well. When does summer start for you? There are the responses. Plus, we're going to take a look at your local forecast coming up. Lots to cover on this show. Stay with us.
This weather segment has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Rich, smooth, and delicious.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
This local forecast has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Something great is brewing.
Here are my top 5 memorable moments while storm chasing. Starting at number 5. The fires and explosions during Hurricane Ike. The flooding prevented firefighters from being able to reach the area and stop the destruction. Number 4. First day of storm chasing that year and the tables were turned. The storm chased us. The tornado was definitely an uh-oh moment. Number 3. Standing in the rubble of Moore, Oklahoma was devastating. But the sense of hope that came from one simple act gives me chills to this day. Number 2. Yet again I'm chased by a tornado, something that always gets my adrenaline pumping. I looked into my rearview mirror and there it was. And number 1, experiencing the winds and rains of Hurricane Katrina will forever be etched in my mind, and seeing the widespread devastation, it's something I'll never forget.
The Lawn and Garden Report is brought to you by Scott's Turf Builder Green Max Lawn Food gives you a deep green lawn fast. And the more green, the more good. Scott's, it's good out there.
If you are gardening this long weekend, you will have some beautiful conditions to do so in Ontario. This area of high pressure, it comes into play and it stays for the weekend. Some moisture to the extreme south. Niagara, for example, you have a slight risk of seeing some light showers. And then it does look like the next system coming in about midweek. Now, those of you in Atlantic Canada, a little more of a wet forecast, especially Sunday and into Monday. Happy gardening and have a great long weekend.
Echo Outdoor Power Equipment, only professional grade, backed by a 5-year warranty. Get serious. Echo Outdoor Power Equipment, only professional grade, backed by a 5-year warranty. Get serious.
Spring is here. Almost. Time to change to Goodyear tires. Enjoy wet and dry traction plus long-lasting tread wear with Goodyear Assurance all-season tires. OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires.
OK Tire. Service, repair, and tires.
Enamel is our guardian. It's the protector of the tooth. When enamel is exposed to acid, it softens. There is a layer underneath called dentin that is more yellow naturally. And so if your enamel is thin and we see that layer, your teeth are more yellow. So you need to start looking after them right away. Pronamel is my personal recommendation. Using Pronamel toothpaste protects that enamel to help strengthen it after it's been exposed to those acids. It's a product that I believe in because I've read the science. Simple as that.
This Friday's Lotto Max jackpot is $17 million. Don't miss out on a chance to make your dreams a reality. Buy your Lotto Max ticket today.
When your family is enjoying outdoor fun, keep Afterbite nearby for instant relief from bites and stings. Though it's probably best to carry a tube of your own. Afterbite, the itch eraser.
The Weather Network's team of meteorologists and weather presenters use raw observational data from Environment Canada to create forecasts and give you a complete picture.
The Weather Wake Up is brought to you by McCafe.
Thanks for joining us. Nicole and Chris with you. In case you didn't notice, it is Friday.
It is, and a Friday of a long weekend as well
Sure
for many. Hopefully you have the long weekend off. Developing stories, Victoria Day forecast, of course, fire the size of Prince Edward Island, and that one is nowhere near being under control. And a record 51 degrees Celsius. That's not just uncomfortable, that can be deadly.
That is scorching hot, the sheer definition of it. This afternoon, we're going to be getting nice and warm here in Montreal, 24. Halifax is 15. 15, and St. John's is sitting at 16, Chris.
It's a good getaway day to the cottage or camping across much of southern Ontario. Enjoy that, and Nicole will fill you in on the long weekend forecast.
That's right. Before today, if you're going to be traveling around Fredericton to get to anywhere that you're headed this weekend, we do have a risk of thunderstorms. Anywhere marked in yellow, too, so that's in true central Quebec and parts of northern Ontario. As we look at our temperature story rolling into this weekend, long weekend, of course, Saturday here. Okay, take advantage of this sunshine. Moncton's 27, Halifax is 23. Nice dry weather. Good to do the barbecuing. St. John's, you're 16. That's above average. We do have Montreal at 24. And Saturday here in Toronto towards Hamilton and St. Catharines does have a slight risk of showers. If not showers, maybe some cloud cover. And then Sunday you clear out in Toronto, but then that system tracks east. Notice Montreal has a slight chance of showers here. Quebec City, Kingston, Ottawa as well. Sunday looks to be a little bit overcast and a little bit wet, but this is not a washout, folks, by any means. Meanwhile, the Maritime Provinces has a different system moving in. This is from the United States, and it will bring you some pretty wet weather to end off your weekend here. We're talking about up to 15 millimeters for Halifax on Sunday, and rolling into Monday, it's still quite wet. So that will impact your fireworks in parts of the Maritimes and Atlantic Canada by and large. Birchie Bay, Newfoundland, Chris, sun is setting this time of year just 10 minutes before 9 p.m.
Today is a gem in Birchie Bay. Most of Newfoundland enjoy. So our poll question is, when does summer start for you? We're not talking by the calendar, just when do you really feel like it's summer? Victoria Day weekend, when the kids finish school, or when the temperatures heat up?
I'm thinking Victoria Day.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of leaning that way.
Yeah,
I've changed
I think
my
so.
mind many times.
Just because that's when everyone starts to. That's when everyone starts to get booked.
Yes.
And then you can't really get in anything in the weddings or this and that. All right, some parks here, Chris.
Yes.
In the west.
Exactly. So if you're heading to any one of these beautiful parks where you see the green, you're going to see some rain. So be prepared for that. Meanwhile, across the east, we will see. We'll get you up to speed on that coming up. But first, your local details.
Exactly. That's coming up as well as Forts of Nature. Plus, we will have this. We promise coming up. Who reached 51 degrees yesterday.
This weather segment has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Rich, smooth, and delicious.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
This local forecast has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Something great is brewing. Force of Nature is brought to you by McCafe. McCafe specialty coffee is carefully roasted to perfection to help you rise and shine.
We start in Pisa, home of the Leaning Tower, but yesterday it was all about the hail. A 10-minute downpour producing marble-sized hail caught tourists and residents alike off guard. To England, where similar weather had ominous clouds gathering over Lincolnshire on Wednesday. At one point, the storm dropped a funnel cloud. So far, no reports of damage. It's been a week of powerful thunderstorms through Texas. Flood warnings were still in effect in the southeast early this morning. Several rivers in the central region are already over their banks. Here at home, the Fort McMurray fire has grown to more than 500,000 hectares and has crossed into a sparsely populated area of Saskatchewan. We'll have updates on this story throughout the hour. Stay with us. Also, your long weekend weather just ahead.
Choice is better. During the Nissan My Choice sales event, choose Rogue from $258 a month at 0.99% APR. That's like paying only $59 weekly.
Raw sugar. Made with raw sugar. Sugar in the raw. Real sweet.
I feel better! Introducing Allergy Effects, the only natural health product clinically proven to relieve allergy symptoms.
It works!
Best friends come below dog food.
So, you ever use the 5-hour rule on your lawn?
Yeah, fertilize, wait 5 hours, and trim with shears. Know the crisscross method?
Yeah, mow in one direction, water in the opposite direction.
Exactly. So, Jeff, how'd you get your lawn looking like Augusta?
Easy. CIL Golf Green One Step. I got the grass to really grow in with the Golf Green One Step Lawn Makeover. Then to keep it looking great, I use the Golf Green One Step Lawn Fertilizer once a season.
So, no crisscross.
What? What?
CIL Golf Green's one-step lineup. A thicker, greener lawn guaranteed. Only available at Canadian Tire.
Echo Outdoor Power Equipment. Only professional grade. Backed by a 5-year warranty. Get serious. Echo Outdoor Power Equipment. Only professional grade. Backed by a 5-year warranty. Get serious.
My favorite things about the summer.
Some of my favorite things about summer.
What do I love about summer?
Summer forecast premieres May 24th at 9 p.m. Brought to you by Charbroil.
Thanks for joining us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkit. Coming up in a moment from right now, we're going to show you which country reached the hottest temperature record ever yesterday at 51 degrees. But right now, let's count down the hottest cities.
Here are your top 5 hottest major cities. Number 5, we traveled to 2 continents for the number 5 spot. Las Vegas, Nevada and Marrakesh, Morocco kick off this countdown with an average high of 26.7 degrees. Number 4, the hottest major city in the United States, Phoenix, Arizona, averages only one day out of the year where temperatures may dip below the freezing mark. Tie 2 major cities in India and Thailand. Though the climates are very different in both regions, their average annual highs hover around 32.7 degrees. Number 2, if you're traveling to Dubai for a little fun in the sun, beware, it's hot desert. And number 1, millions of Muslims from around the world make the annual pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca under extreme temperatures. Record highs have soared to a blistering 49.4 degrees. For more top 5 videos, log on to the video sections of theweathernetwork.com.
All right, so let's, speaking of hot cities, talk about India. All-time record heat on Thursday. We had this city get up to 51 degrees, so now that's the hottest temperature record, and they are in a heat wave warning for the vicinity. It's going to be hot right through till the weekend. Looking at our temperatures, we do have some hot temperatures in Regina this afternoon, getting up to 27. Vancouver 17, that's seasonal. Toronto getting up to 20, and towards the east, Halifax is 15 degrees, but warming up really nicely in the Maritime provinces tomorrow. Take advantage. That's your sunny day. We've got sunshine today in Ontario and Quebec, but as we start to roll into Saturday, a few little things to talk about here. Around Timmins, Kapuskasing, some showers. Also around the Niagara region and parts of the Greater Toronto area do have a chance of seeing some showers, if not some cloud cover. And then by Saturday evening, notice how it's inching close towards parts of eastern Ontario. We've got the 401 from Kingston to Ottawa over towards Montreal. On Sunday, seeing a chance of showers or some cloud cover before that rain, which will be heavy at times, moves into the Maritime provinces. Let's take you to Muskoka. A place I love to go in the summertime. I've been to this hotel, the JW Marriott in Muskoka. I went there last summer for a wedding. It was spectacular, so I can understand why Michelle Nelson is feeling pretty lucky today.
Oh, yeah. You know what? This is an early start to the long weekend, Nicole. You were right. It's absolutely stunning here. I'm just standing on the shorelines of Lake Rousseau, and I'm joined by Lee Leslie, and we're talking about actually what used to stand here. So it's some pretty cool stuff.
Yes, it is. This has been a favorite destination for visitors for many, many decades, more than a century actually. In the 1800s, Peyton House was a resort that opened in 1895, and we're standing on the foundation of one of the buildings of that resort. And people used to come here via steamship, by rail, to see beautiful nature, to rejuvenate, and to enjoy the dark sky at night.
Oh, yeah, and it's definitely worth the trip. We've been enjoying ourselves here. A bit of sea-doing earlier. We're going to explore the rest of the resort coming up. But right now, as we head towards the long weekend, let's take a look at your local.
This weather segment has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Rich, smooth, and delicious.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
forecast has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Something great is brewing.
Now here's a thought. Have you ever considered a sunburn on your eyeball? Does the sun have the power to burn your eye in the same way it can burn your skin?
Yes, the sun can burn our eyes. The ultraviolet component of sunlight has enough strength to break chemical bonds. Ultraviolet light is usually highest between 10 and 2, but it can actually have a greater impact between the hours of 8 and 10 a.m. and 2 and 4 p.m.
Here are two types of burns. Photokeratitis. This is short-lived pain. And solar retinopathy. This is permanent vision loss where photoreceptors in the eye are actually burned. If you've burned your eye, you may feel these symptoms.
Someone will know that they burnt their eye typically the next day when they experience a lot of light sensitivity, tearing, and maybe blurred vision. Usually happens about 24 hours after a bright exposure to the sun.
We should all be wearing sunglasses, and it's also a good idea to check in with your eye doctor every 1 to 2 years. With the story on the UV index, the sunlight, and how it affects our eyes, I'm Rachel Schutzen for the Weather Network.
The storm forecast is brought to you by X-Men Apocalypse. Only the strong will survive. In theaters May 27th.
As we look at our storm forecast for today, much of Ontario staying nice and dry, but we do have a cold front moving through Quebec and into northern portions of the Atlantic, and this is where we could see some thunderstorms. So along the Gaspé, for example, also places like Fredericton, 22 degrees is your daytime high and a risk of some thunderstorms as well. Now, of course, have a safe long weekend, and if you do see the sun, make sure you are wearing sunscreen. The UV index strong for the east.
When your family is enjoying outdoor fun, keep Afterbite nearby for instant relief from bites and stings. Though it's probably best to carry a tube of your own. Afterbite, the itch eraser.
Castle Building Centers is putting some fun into your next weekend with the 2016 Weekend Warrior Contest. Enter for your chance to win your choice of one Weekend Warrior prize, from a shiny new touring motorcycle, a sleek fishing boat, or a seasonal travel trailer. Visit a participating Castle location. One prize to be awarded nationally, valued at $25,000. Contest through July 15th. Visit castle.ca for contest rules and a complete list of Castle locations.
Castle Building Centers, your trusted building and hardware supply partner.
There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park and extra time in the park. If you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
Book with Air Canada Vacations by May 31st and save $350 per family.
Make a move towards feeling great. Nivea Q10 Firming Lotion with coenzyme Q10, boosted with creatine, gives you firmer feeling skin in just 2 weeks. See for yourself with Q10 Firming Lotion from Nivea.
Ah, Portugal. Lisbon, the Algarve Cliffs, the port wine. Oh, and my husband just added sunsets over the Atlantic.
Air Transat, direct flights to 28 destinations in Europe.
This Victoria Day weekend, you can really experience eHarmony for free. It's the first step in finding that perfect person for you. Connect for free now through Monday only. Must be 18 or over.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by McCafe. McCafe's specialty coffee is carefully roasted to perfection to help you rise and shine.
Good morning. I'm Nicole Karkic from your National Morning Show.
And I'm Rachel Schutzen from Toronto's Morning Show. A very happy Friday to you. It certainly is the long weekend, and maybe you want to get into some scenes like this. Barbecuing this weekend, some nice sunshine. Oh, this is nice.
Oh, and this looks really tasty. Prosciutto and asparagus. That's a new one.
Very creative.
And you like doing pineapple.
Pineapple, yeah. I actually, someone tweeted me. They said, how do you do your pineapple?
Oh.
So I put a little bit of coconut oil on it.
Okay.
Grill it until you can see those grill marks. It's nice and warm. And then some cinnamon.
Oh, nice. And then just
eat it.
And delicious. I love it. Okay, so the long weekend towards the west is going to be different than the east. We've got below average temperatures. Calgary and Edmonton on Saturday, forecast high of 9 degrees.
Yeah.
A lot of moisture. This is good news. It's been too dry, but there's always a the flip side in that it's probably too much rain.
Exactly. As we look at Ontario, also the flip side to the story, you saw there Calgary less than 10 hours of sunshine for the long weekend, but Southern Ontario more than 30 hours. Warm conditions, dry conditions. It's going to be great, especially if you're in cottage country.
Yeah, and as we look to Saturday here, I do want to mention, okay, here's a little hiccup. Parts of Toronto towards Hamilton and Niagara do have a slight chance of showers, not a washout, but that's Saturday. Look at temperatures, though, towards the east. Moncton and Halifax, gorgeous and sunny on Saturday. Rain moves in on Sunday.
Yeah, Toronto 21 on Sunday, dry conditions for you. And then in Atlantic Canada, yeah, you'll need that umbrella for Sunday.
And as we roll into Monday, Rachel, a lot of these cities on this map will have clear skies for the fireworks, but we can't say the same thing from the Maritimes due east.
And we can't say the same thing in Texas either. Have a look at some of these scenes. This is from Austin. We were looking at some very heavy downpours this week and tornado potential as well in the alley. Our storm hunters are headed there now.
I'm meteorologist Jacqueline Woodall. Joining me is George Krunis from Angry Planet, and Mark is in the back seat, Mark Robinson. It is officially our first travel day on our way down to Tornado Alley, bringing you all kinds of great updates live from the field for the next few weeks, so keep it here at the Weather Network. Mark, the pattern's starting to look pretty favorable as we look ahead to the weekend and into next week.
Yeah, we're actually seeing what we call a persistent trough, which means that the wind is coming just in the right direction to produce storm after storm after storm. Normally these troughs move quite quickly through, they're gone, that's it. This one is going to stick around for potentially as much as 3 or 4 days, which is unusual but fantastic for constant storm development.
All right, so we'll bring you the latest. And George, this is your 19th or 20th year chasing?
This is year number 19. I'm an old veteran at this.
Here we go. All right, stay tuned to the Weather Network for the latest.
All right, they're going to have some fun there.
For sure. Now, if you stay with us here at the Weather Network, this is what's coming up. We've got your local forecast right now, all of your long weekend details, plus we're going to take a look at the national parks, and we've got Share Your Weather coming up on the national side. So right now, you're local.
This weather segment has been brought to you by McCafe Premium Roast Coffee. Rich, smooth, and delicious.
You're watching Canada's Weather Network. To help you plan your activities in the coming days, here are the short and long-term forecasts for your area. To upload your photos and videos, visit upload.theweathernetwork.com.
local forecast has been brought to you by JW Marriott, the Rosso Muskoka Resort and Spa, your summer destination.